A little bit about education in Illinois, because that's something near and dear to our heart. Chuck, you've got young kids, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. And so you wanted to come on. First of all, you are also with Freedom Square.
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
I'm one of his partners in the
Yep, you're one of his partners, right? Okay, so I know that's a huge endeavor, but people can start to go and sign up there, right?
That's correct, yeah. We're right now we'll get a splash page up at freedomsquare.com. You can go and register. We're giving some giveaways, and then possibly the middle of January is supposed to launch the site.
Okay, great. I wanted to have you on, though, because we've got an education problem in the state of Illinois.
Huge.
We've got literally about only 1/3 of the kids in the state overall read or do math at grade level. When you get down to particular districts, even districts where you think that the kids should be doing well, like maybe they're in DuPage or maybe they're in suburban Cook, they're still not, maybe they're hitting 50%. Maybe they're hitting 50% that read or do math at grade level. It's abysmal. And so what are we going to do about it?
Well, what Illinois does is they lower the bar to make them look great.
Well, they have. Actually, let's go there for a minute.
Yeah, they do.
They've actually changed the tests that they measure for academic achievement. They have changed it multiple times. And then what they've also decided to do is they've changed on whether or not a school is considered excellent, commendable, or not good. They've changed that criteria.
It's participation trophies.
It's participation. We're measuring growth now. We're not actually measuring achievement. We're measuring growth. Well, you can measure growth. Okay, fine. But that's still not achievement. And by the way, if you grow from 10% of your kids reading and doing math at grade level to the next year, 12% of the kids are reading and doing math. Well, we had 20% growth. 12% of your kids, first of all, was it ever acceptable that only 10% of your kids were reading or doing math at grade level? No.
It should never be. And that's the way Illinois rolls, because we're going to balance the budget by using federal funds. It's just the way they are. It's a shell game. It's rob Peter to pay Paul. And the thing that worries me the most is there's no end in sight. There's no accountability. You've got school boards out there that are just part of the problem. They're part of the NEA and the unions, and they're the lapdogs to the unions.
So I actually want to put this in place. I want to get 100% conservative school board elected, which you only need a majority of 4.
Correct.
And I want them to actually do what parents want them to do, which is put in the right policies. So you deal with academic excellence, a robust extracurricular activities, because you do need to treat the whole child.
Sure.
But you get rid of the wokeness, rid of the indoctrination. You have this absolute emphasis on achievement, student achievement, and get rid of the whole SEL stuff. I mean, so much of that is garbage. So much of that is an interference of what parents are responsible to do.
Sure.
And some of these school boards need to actually stand up, and say, that is the parents' responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility to administer, medicine, for example. Not medicine in school. I'm talking about they have school nurses that are making diagnoses rather than parents picking up their kid and taking them to the doctor.
I can see a school nurse giving Advil.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm not
stuff
saying
like that. But
I'm saying that so many times they have a school nurse for all sorts of other issues that deal with depression or anything else. That is a parent's job.
Yeah, I agree. With math, reading, writing, those things, music, art, I think those are important. But you start to get into the psychology of it and taking away the parent's role in the child's life, and the government becomes the parent. It's not going to happen. Now, my thing is I truly thought COVID woke a lot of moms and dads up.
Yes,
the problem is that they're getting rocked back to sleep, because we're starting to get back to a little bit of normalcy, and it's okay. School board meetings are off people's radars right now. People are not as active, as engaged they were when their kids were in masks and out of school. We need to get back to that. Now, I'm in District 301. That's out in Burlington Central.
Okay.
We've got school boards, I think there's 3 or 4 seats up for election. We've got one mama bear that's running. Her name's Morgan Pappas. I highly recommend you get to know her, because she's like a Jeannie clone in a way, in a great way.
Good.
She's all about, let's get back to the basics. Let's talk about what it's like in the school system where parents should be parents.
Okay, but the other part of it, how about fiscal responsibility? Every single one of these school districts in the state of Illinois is going to take their max. So they're going to be a 5 to 6% a property tax increase. That's what they're going to do. They're going to they can take 5% because most of these people are PTEL limited, so they can take 5% of whatever the rate of inflation is.
Correct.
And right now, 5% is the limiting factor because the inflation rate last year, officially, according to the Illinois Department of Revenue, was 7%. So they're going to take 5%, but in reality, in some cases, they're going to take 6%. So if you have new development coming onto the property tax rolls, they're going to tax them to the max.
Oh, yeah.
Why do they need 5% more?
Well,
Why do they need 5% more? They just got flush with COVID relief funds.
I agree. And
what are they going to do?
I tell everybody that's watching this, listening, or maybe watching the broadcast, go back and FOIA where dollars were spent on those COVID funds. You'll be shocked, you'll be appalled on where the dollars actually went. Now they're using that budget as the new timeline and the new watermark. And so they're going to raise property taxes. They're going to take that, but they never talk about how can we trim the budget? How can we get rid of the excess
Never
fat?
a discussion.
How can we get rid of the job where 3 people are duplicating doing the same job?
And
how do we consolidate things?
No, that is never a discussion. Besides, you have declining enrollment in many of these schools. You have declining enrollment and massively more taxes.
Wait until homeschooling takes off more than it has, and enrollment's down, and then the federal funds go away, and the local funds go away based upon population. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. So that's where the parents can take control of their child's destiny, is with homeschooling. But you've got people that don't have the means to do that, and you've got to keep up the fight.
So, I mean, I'm imagining that your school district is a fairly small school district.
It's growing.
Okay,
That's the issue.
It is growing. Yours is growing because people they want a little bit more open space, and you get that out there in Kane County,
Correct.
right? And so they are moving out there for that. Great, no problem.
The problem is they're bringing their policies from Cook County into Kane County, and then they wonder why their taxes are going up, the quality of life is going the way it is, because they brought in their, I hate to say this, but I call them termites. They come in and they're like, oh, there's more wood here, let's destroy it. Then they move on. And it's a cycle that has to stop. I'm amazed at how many people move out of Illinois and then they champion the fact that they're going to try to turn Wisconsin or Florida blue. Well, you moved out of Illinois because it sucked. It's a dumpster fire. But you want to go take your policies and do the exact same thing and exterminate the quality of life that you're moving into.
Well, that's really why we started Breakthrough Ideas.
And I applaud you.
And honestly, we think that more information is good all around. People need to be informed about the policies that are happening. I don't think a lot of people understand their property tax bill, property tax levies, how schools are financed. I don't think they understand academically where their school district is in any way. But my point I was going to get to is this. Your school district is probably smaller than mine. We have like about 11,000 students in ours. It takes about 5,000 votes to get on the school board. I imagine for you, it could be a few thousand less than that. What I'm saying is, you can win this.
Oh, absolutely.
If you have enough parents who are just engaged in getting out the vote, and all you do is for 3 months get out the vote, you can win these school board elections.
Absolutely.
This is not a done deal by the unions, that the unions are going to get their pick. If people do their work locally, you can win a school board race.
And that's where everybody always gets hung up on who the president is, who's this, who's that. Everything begins at home on the grassroots level.
Yes.
School boards, city councils, park districts, anything that affects your tax funds, that's where you need to be engaged.
Absolutely. Okay, we got to leave the conversation now. I got to get prepped for Beyond the Beltway.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Jeannie, thank you. God bless you guys.
You bet. Take care.